All right, guys. Good morning. Today is 14th of January, 2026. Um, okay, crazy global market talk with Cal. Crazy anytime, anywhere. All right, guys. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to you, Jim. You're the one recording for me now on the site. Okay. All right, guys. Good morning to all of you today. Now, today we have very important news to go through. Now, apparently, there's some news saying that in 24 hours, the Supreme Court apparently will make the decision according um, that about this Donald Trump tariff. All right. So if the Supreme Court decided that whatever Donald Trump is doing, all right, in terms of the tariff, is not legal, all right, then of course that means that the billions of dollars collected has to be refunded. Now this is not going to end well, right? So this is going to be very interesting time here. Okay. So before that, disclaimer apply as usual. Please make sure that you do your risk management. So let's start this morning again as usual with our market talk first. Okay, let's go. All right, the S&P 500 retreated from the record level on Tuesday as the JP Morgan stock slided. Now, the company came out pretty good result, but it's nothing fantastic, and the market didn't like it. Okay, so I'll share you more. And of course, the traders now is evaluating the multiple Trump edicts, right? They've been having going on and what Donald Trump has been doing. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's first of all, now JP Morgan, we have the investors selling out the market despite better than expected numbers. So you see that because now people is grapple with whatever the uh the flurry of the President Donald Trump proposal floated in the past few days. Okay, so the market down a little bit, nothing much, but main thing is JP Morgan. Hmm. Okay, down by 4.2%, even though the company came about better than expected figures. But the main thing is this, the reason why the share price came down is because that the banks failed to meet some expectation by the analysts, and they feel that right now that the banking sector itself may be under pressure by the time when interest rates comes down, right? So there will be more companies, more banks coming out their result. So if JP Morgan doing very well and doesn't meet expectation, kind of telling us that maybe the rest of the banks, if they don't meet expectation, the market will sell even more. All right, the other thing is this, we all know that um, oil price yesterday shoot up. Now, I've been telling you that oil price will be going up. In fact, yesterday I was telling you after copper, the next market will be gold, and after gold itself will be crude oil. And it's coming in exactly what I said. All right, if you buy crude oil yesterday, you make some good money. So the thing is this, the reason has to come from Donald Trump again, because he canceled all the meetings with Iran. Apparently, he's a top OPEC producer. Okay, so this is something not so good, and that is basically hitting up the inflation side. Yeah. Now, of course, we know that the CPI came out a bit weaker, so apparently the market likes it. But it's kind of funny because you cannot be weaker because if the cost of living is increasing, how do you expect to be weaker? So again, everybody knows that now recently, if the numbers are not according to plan, the person gets sacked. So is it because of that reason? That's why the numbers come out weaker? Well, that is for you to decide. And of course, very importantly now, this Donald Trump again, okay, again, not on Jerome Powell, calling him an either incompetent or crook. My goodness. As concerns surrounding central bank independence remain. So the serious part is this, Donald Trump really, really, really disliked Jerome Powell. And don't forget, Jerome Powell is the guy he brought in as a Fed chairman. The CPI core consumer price rose at 0.6%, 2.6% annual rate lesser than expected. Now, because of that, it saw the market initially as a knee-jerk effect, and then the market went up first. Then after that, later on, more and more data coming in, the market slowed down. Donald Trump attacked power, as I said again, that jerk will be gone soon. Oh my goodness. All right. Coming from a president, my goodness, that jerk will be gone soon. Guys, I'm not too sure why it's doing this, but to me, it's what Jamie Dimon says that anything that undermine the Fed independence is probably not a good idea. Now, I'm not too sure does Donald Trump understand this. In 1914 itself, there's Federal Reserve being created back then, and it's all done by the very, very rich people. So my question is this, Donald Trump, are you trying to be funny here, or are you trying to be different, or aren't you not worried about yourself? Interesting. So the thing is this, we all know right now that the 11 is coming in, and there is a news that is going to be coming up today. So of course, from now to 21st, it's still possible, but there are some ongoing rumors that it could be today. Yeah, so watch out for that. And of course, oil price goes up because of the cancel of meeting with Iran. Basically, tell protesters that help is on the way. So in short, it's telling the world, Iran, that look, if you don't, it's not, if you're not going to come and calm down yourself, you can go for it. Okay, so that is what's happening right now. Economic front, today we have the PPI, usually of the CPI with the PPI, and then we have retail sales, and then we call retail sales, home sales, and crude oil inventories. So basically, the market is expecting to be sideways, yeah, sideways data. Okay. Now, I want to show something very important on my crazy.com, my Twitter or my X. Right, some very important data coming in. First of all, this is the first data I want to show you today. So apparently, right, through a very good, I like this particular organization. Their financial, I mean, their so-called, this writing is pretty good. Okay. All right, the US job data has been revised in all 11 months in 2025, and it's actually going lower and lower. So it's very clear that right now, every time when they come out with some data, after a while later, they revise it and it's always getting lower. So of course, they revise it, they just tell you on in paper, but they don't really emphasize on the news. Hence, therefore, by right, look at it itself, right, we are actually having a little bit of recession going on right now. Now, CME just raised margin again. All right, this is not normal. That's definitely. So now they increased the margin requirement, and of course, people are getting worried right now with more and more margin imposed, whether long or short. It does concern the people. Hence, therefore, the volatility is definitely going crazy. And of course, we all know that the CPI data, although 2.6%, is actually the 58 consecutive month that's above the 2% target. So the question is this, if this continues, does it make sense to even cut interest rate? So because of that, I think that's very reason why Jerome Powell refused to cut interest rate while Donald Trump insists to cut interest rate. And we have the stocks divergence now. We can see this is a very interesting thing. It's a semiconductor indicator. And you can see that whenever, okay, there's a bit of divergence in the market, we do see a bit of pullback in the stock market. So what we are seeing right now is probably something similar that's ongoing. Yeah. Now, this is the one that I'm looking at is that the potential thing coming up. If the Supreme Court rules against the president, all right, that means that about $250 billion of refund need to be triggered, and that is going to be bad. So you can see that right now, this is Donald Trump himself. Let's take a look. The actual numbers that we would have to pay back if for any reason the Supreme Court were to rule against the United States of America on tariff will be hundreds of billions of dollars, and that doesn't include the amount of payback that the countries and companies will require for the investment they are making on the building of plants, factories, and equipment. So in short, it's basically telling the Supreme Court that right, whatever they do, they must be able to take the problem later on. So this is kind of what a word from the president, and he said that if the Supreme Court rules against the United States of America on this national security bonanza, we are screwed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is really incredible stuff. Okay. All right, and last one is this. Let me just show you this. Okay. Oh, it's done. Okay, done. Okay. All right. So, guys, those are the fundamentals for today I got for you. Very interesting stuff. If really Donald Trump failed to, convince the Supreme Court, then we're going to have a bit of problem. But of course, if the Supreme Court rules to his favor, oh my goodness, the stock market is going to fly. All right, guys. So take note of that. Very, very important. Okay, so let's just look into the market right now. Hold on a minute. Oh dear, a bit of hang at the moment right now. Oh gosh, this is bad. Okay, it was okay before we started the session. Just bear with me for a while. Oh, there, it's stuck. Okay, hold on now. Let me just unshare this. Hopefully it works for a while. Sorry about that this morning. It was okay this morning, then things always happen, yeah? Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. All right, guys, I think we have a bit of technical issue. It was okay earlier, but now I cannot seem to be able to link up my chart up. Okay, so what I suggest, okay, is that everybody just hang here, do not move away from Zoom, stay on, wait for me for another 1 or 2 minutes, and I'll try to come back ASAP. All right, just hang on for a while. It could be a technical issue. Just do not leave here. Okay, just hang on for a while. Yeah. All right, guys, let me come back to you guys regarding about the market view for technical side for today. Yep, let's go. This morning, the gold opening price is at 4588 and the MLP is 4596. So the OP was below MLP. And this morning, it traded above OP and MLP, headed for the pivot 2, which is a 4607. The market touches that, hang there for a while, and then after that, the new level. Yeah. Okay. As I was saying, that the market is bullish because the day before closing, okay, is above the MLP. So this is a very bullish sign. Even though yes, we do have the KSI being red, but when we talk about price action, it's actually bullish. So because of that, right, we know that the gold will trade higher today, and true is happened. Okay, now, prior to that as well, we have all the KSI that is red. But the thing is this, the market never came down. So as long as the market is still strong, we cannot call for a sell yet because the market has never closed below the previous day low. So when the market didn't close above previous day low, the elephant trade couldn't be triggered. So that is a thing here for now. Now, the thing is this, at the moment now, the KSI has turned to green. So if the market KSI turns green by the end of today, then the elephant trade is no longer exists. Yeah, so must be very careful on this. Okay, let's look at the 5 minute chart for now and see that what can we do. All right, you can see that I have some really technical problem with my chart. Once I put with Zoom together, my 5 minute chart seems dead. All right, it's not able to produce. I can convert I can click the chart at all. This is pretty bad. So it seems that I cannot continue further. Okay, just give me a short moment. I see what can I do. Right, it seems to be that is the downside for today. Not too sure why, because I am actually on this individual router now. It's supposed to be good and fast, but nah, it's not happening. Okay, I think the technical side has done it. So if let's continue for the day chart from the point of day chart, if the market continue to go higher, we should be able to see even the next high, which is 4686 level. Now, of course, this is pivot one level, it's a bit too far away. So I don't think you hit today unless something very scary happen. Example, a war happen or something, or there's some really bad something happen in US that causes gold to shoot. Now, one thing to note, there's a four diamond here. So if it's four diamond, then of course we can know that tomorrow could be a very interesting day. It could be a day of follow through. It could be a day of selling off. So we do watch this very closely. Yeah. All right, guys. I can see that I'm still not able to capture the 5 minutes. So we end today here. For today's market, that'll be the technical side, the last part of today. Nothing else I can do. So stay tuned. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye. All right, guys, I really have some severe technical issue as a separate video to do the Dow Jones for today. The Dow Jones today opening price is 49,000 156. That's the opening price for today. And you can see very clearly the Dow today opening price is below the MLP. Yesterday MLP, if we compare to the yesterday MLP, the closing is below. So today the market is more to the bearish side for the Dow Jones. So double sell off one reason, and now we have it trading below the pivot 2, which is support level. So this is another classic sell signal. So with all the above, it's a very high chance today the Dow Jones may test down the downside to the level of 48,727. All right, though we do know that today we may have a news coming from the Supreme Court regarding whether Donald Trump tariff is it legal, illegal. So that could spike the market lower. Now, of course, if the market recovers and stay above the pivot 2, the market will rebound back to the MLP. But if the market failed and do go down, then my first target is MA30 at 48,727. And we all know that if the market cannot stay above the 48,727, there's a very high chance the market will tap down to the next target level, and that is about 48,383 level for the Dow Jones for today. All right, so for today, the technical analysis, we'll just do the Dow Jones and the gold because it's like we have to keep on editing the videos, kind of tiring for all of us. So today will be these two videos, right? I see what can we solve it for tomorrow's this market talk. Thank you very much. Bye bye.